I just want to tell you a little bit how I got interested in health and wellness. I did come, to UNC and got into biology and research and all that, and that was wonderful. But I ended up working with a lot of patients who had chronic inflammatory diseases. So I really saw what they were going through, and I saw what, how difficult their lives were, and was working in a lab that we were trying to reduce that inflammation for them. We were trying to find compounds that would help have them not go into flares. And at the same time, I was raising two sons with my husband, who has a lot part of that. And my younger son has a number of health conditions, including 3 autoimmune diseases. So I was living it too with him. I loved what I did, but he had a difficult period, and I pulled him out of school to homeschool him. And at that point, about a year or so later, I decided to start my own wellness company, and I started it with USANA Health Sciences. One of the reasons why I chose USANA was I actually had heard and knew about the founder. Let's see, there we go. The founder, this is Dr. Myron Wentz, and he is a double PhD. He has invented quick tests for viruses. He was one of the early inventors. He invented the Epstein-Barr quick test, and ended up, I think, maybe 200 or 250 more quick tests for viruses with his company, Go Labs. So I knew him through the hospital. Well, I didn't know him personally, but I knew of him through the hospital. And I just love this quote. I don't have to read it for you, but he absolutely is focused on cellular nutrition and also focused on prevention. He was using viral work in his regular research, but he had to have human cells be very, very healthy. And he studied all the different pathways in the body to figure out the right balance and ratio needed. And that was over 30 years ago. And since then, they have done more and more research, which is fascinating to me, being a scientist. One of the things like I said, he's so fascinated with the human cell. And here we go, back to biology, back to high school biology class, but I'll be very brief. We talk about nutrition, most of us talk about carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and then fiber, which is actually mostly to feed our microbiome, by the way. And that's what most nutritionists discuss, but they don't think about the fact that all of these nutrients we're getting with a healthy diet is really feeding each cell in the body. And that's what's very important, because if these cells aren't working right, that's when things go wrong. So really, when our cells are healthy, we're healthy. Now, what do we need for cellular nutrition? We need energy. So actually, this mitochondria needs to have all the nutrients, the glucose coming in order to turn it into energy so we can have our lives. Also, structure. Our whole bodies. I mean, each cell has structure. You see all these little microstructures in here and the membrane and all. Each cell has it, so we can build that to have all our organs and our whole body. Very necessary. And proteins and fats and even some minerals help with that. Supporting reactions. Now, this is something people don't think about as much. Vitamins and minerals act as cofactors for enzymes and support specific processes in your body that keeps you running, keeps you moving and going. And then also protection. When mitochondria get old, they shoot off a lot of oxidants, free radicals, so to speak. And then we're also exposed to a lot of free radicals and toxins. And I know we have quite a few people here who help us with that, either physical toxins, chemical toxins, or energy toxins. I know that. So those are the important things to think about when you're thinking about taking care of your cells, taking care of your body. So you do need to eat all those whole fruits and vegetables, proteins, grains, beneficial fats. That's really the best way to get all this nutrition. They're essential because we can't make them on our own. But we all seem to have realized now that it's almost impossible to obtain all the nutrients we need just through the healthy diet. And I don't know, how many people do you know who eat 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day? I think I know one person. And that is what's the guidelines for the USDA for optimal health. Now, so how do we know what to do? Doctors are now suggesting, many doctors are suggesting that taking a quality and potent multivitamin is going to be very good for our long-term health. So we turn to supplements. And researchers are seeing that also. This is a comparative guide that I find very, very helpful. It is was started by Lyle McWilliam. He started this about 20 years ago. He's a biochemist in Canada, very much involved when Canada started improving their natural products. I mean, he's just dedicated to safe, effective, and high quality natural health products. So he decided to look and see what was available. Started off just in Canada and the US, but he's expanded now into Mexico and Colombia. But he takes everything he's on the market and he compares them to this health support profile. The support profile was developed by researchers in the scientific field, by medical doctors, and by naturopathic doctors. All those fields, they came together and what is important for a complete multivitamin. And a couple of things that he did was he first of all, he had to look that when vitamins have proprietary blends and they don't really tell you what's in there, he couldn't actually compare those. So those actually got thrown out right away. Maybe they're fine, but they're not telling anybody what they have in them. So that's tough to qualify. And then he also was looking at the quality of the manufacturing. They rate products, these 1,500 products, they rate them on a star system according to the ingredients on the bottle that they say on the label. And then if they have from 1 to 5 stars. And once they have 4 or 5 stars, then they go back to the companies and they ask them, okay, it looks great. You look like you have a great product. Could you please go to third-party testing? Could you show us that, prove that what you have in the label is in the product and prove that there are no toxicities? And that's where we go back to this health support profile. They really want to make sure that there's not too much of anything, or there's no hidden toxicities in there, which is really, unfortunately, quite common. I'm going to go to my next slide. And this is some of the third-party testing they ask. I mean, well, this is actually what this list is testing that USANA has for their own. They are in the physician's desk reference, but the USP testing, the NSF international testing, that's one thing that a lot of people ask me, that just shows that that is quality and there's nothing unsafe in it. And then Consumer Lab is a really good place to go to conduct and to find out. And USANA was rated #1 in that one too, and in the NutriSearch. So this information is really for helping you evaluate what you have and what you need and what you would like. Traditional multivitamin supplements supply the building materials, but this is something that it really excites me. I'm going to try to forget this. This is the USANA Self Essentials I've been talking about. Now, in the NutriGuide, it actually came up with the NutriSearch Platinum Award. NutriSearch awards silver, gold, diamond, and only one platinum award. that they have gone back and they have made sure that they have all those various profiles up right. But a couple of them, I forgot to tell you about. One of them is talking about how, when I told you about getting the body's systems to work, most multivitamins do not have that. They don't have the ability to encourage the body to operate in a optimal health way. They give the basic raw materials, yes, but they have specific plant nutrients are able to actually turn on pathways that we want in our body. One of them is called the NRF2 pathway, and that one helps us develop our own antioxidants inside our body. So it helps develop glutathione, helps develop other enzymes that actually fight the inflammation. So this inflammation is inside our cells. It's formed by the mitochondria very often. And so when we have our own cells forming these enzymes that fight the free radicals, you've got it right there where you want it. Whereas if you it's good to eat antioxidants also, but that is antioxidants that ends up in your bloodstream and only gets what's out in your bloodstream, but not actually in your body's cells. So that's very important. And another thing that this particular multivitamin does is it helps the turnover of mitochondria. And mitochondria, that energy power source, as we get older, they get more inefficient. And as they get more inefficient, they're throwing off even more of those free radicals. It's just the way it works. So this encourages it's called phage. It's eating itself. It's basically breaking down the old mitochondria and then forming brand new mitochondria in our cells. So that is a wonderful way to provide more energy, but also less inflammation and helping our bodies combat all the toxins that we're exposed to, and also just the natural way of the way we eat to get energy, and that throws off also inflammation. So this technology is called the intelligence technology, and I have my screen at the bottom, but at the bottom we do have a US patent for it, which is fascinating because not many nutritional companies have many US patents for a situation like this, for nutrition, because people think, oh, well, we all know what nutrition is. But the response is actually, it really promotes to make your actual cells healthier and more able to function in today's world. So it adapts to you and to your own unique lifestyle needs, and it actually helps you age well. So if you have any questions, I'm totally happy to answer questions now and spend some time answering your questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
I was wondering, with these Cell Essentials, is there one that's different for men and women, or is it the same thing?
We have, it's the same thing for men and women, but we also have a prenatal version for women who want or need they need more iron. Mm-hmm. So this one does not have any iron in it because not everybody needs extra iron. But if you do need it, it does have iron in the prenatals. The other option is we also now have a product that that has iron in it, and I'm actually having Nicole test it out. It's not a multivitamin with iron. We have an iron product that we've been using with athletes for many, many years. We are approved by the Olympic Committee, and we also are any of the Women's Tennis Association, any of the women's tennis players in the association. They're allowed to take no multivitamins at all or USANA. That's their choice.
I was wondering specifically about calcium.
About calcium?
Mhm.
We do also have a calcium magnesium product that I add to this to get more of that. You want the calcium, you want also, but you also want the magnesium and you want the vitamin K in
Mhm.
there and the vitamin D.
Mhm.
So this is a base. And then with USANA, we do have quite a few products that use this is a type of intelligence technology that is helping the body do particular functions. One is for joints. We have one for that's called Brucosa. It really helps the joints, and it helps the it actually has a turmeric product in it, a curcumin product in it, which is called Mariva. And they've taken the curcumin and they've encapsulated in a polysaccharide, which helps it be 30 times more bioavailable. So you don't turn orange eating it. All the curcumin you need. And then we have a product specifically for the liver function, which is phenomenal. It actually helped my son amazingly, because when he was very sick, his liver was starting to shut down. And our livers are actually, if you take care of them well, they can regenerate, they can come back, but it usually needs some nutritional help for that, and also reducing toxins. So it's a combination of that. So we
Thank
have
you.
a long list of products, but I wasn't going to give a talk and give a long list.
Thank you for all the information, Robin. Y'all know Robin is a wealth of knowledge on all things health and USANA related. So if you have any more questions for her, please just reach out to her. She's very receptive, very responsive, and love sharing what she knows. So that's also a plus. So thank you.
Absolutely. I really love working one-on-one with people. I mean, I love giving talks too, but I love afterwards to really talk with the individual and find out. I don't throw a whole package of all kinds of things at anyone. I find out exactly what would work for them and what they need. That's I feel that's so important. And then I guide them through it too with lifestyle choices.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.